Hi guys, this is a lesson about playing on changes. This is going to be with blue and green. I'm going to give you a couple of different approaches to dealing with songs like these. Here's me trying to deal with the changes. I always fail, but at least I'll show you different strategies and how they work and how they sound. Okay, kind of. Well, so let me tell you stuff I'm thinking about and I'm learning to control, and you can really do the same. This is part of my approaches, and each one of them can be mastered. I'll try to show you like a cool example of how this and that approach works or doesn't work. So for starters, look at the changes. And what I'm imagining is kind of a tree. I know it sounds funny, but when I'm saying I'm imagining a tree, I mean each chord has its four, like if this is G minor 7, it's better, easier to think about. Then I do the 1, 3, 5, 7, and then I simply figure out the 9, 11, 13 by going a whole step above the chord tone. So I have 1, 3, 5, 7, and a whole step above the G is A, that's my 9. Whole step above a B flat is C, that's my 11, and a whole step above D, which is the 5 of G, is my 13. Then I can play it like a tree. When I say tree, I mean I have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. You can do this for all the chords. For the D minor. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is I'll build these trees of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And when you look at these trees, if I'm looking at G minor 7, it's actually, if I bring all the notes to a single octave, instead of having the 9 in the second octave in the first, I'll get the scale, which I'm sure you recognize as Dorian. Let me turn that guitar up a little bit. Okay, and what this tells me is that I have a scale that's gonna fit my chord, and I'll really spend time just playing on that single scale. So let me show you how I do that. I'm gonna loop my first bar for a little bit so we can hear it. Get into Dorian mood, sorry, and here it is. Got this weird anticipation that the second chord won't hurt me. And then I just practice playing a single chord. First of all, I do my scale. Then I do my tree. And I know that G Dorian is really F major. I play F major stuff. Any pattern that you like, on the F major scale or the Dorian will work. That means that I'm thinking about the scale. I'm looking all through the neck. And I'm applying it. And I know all kinds of cool patterns. Here's one that I like. For example, which I use there, which is simply the triads up in fourth. F, B flat, E half diminished, A minor. Okay, and that sounds cool. If I play some patterns, it's kind of more fun just playing something completely scalar, like this. Or a simple 1-2-4 pattern like this. Or an arpeggio. Or an intervallic pattern. Okay, so that's one consideration. And the second is the numbers. I'll practice landing on good numbers. Like I want to finish my phrases on the 9, which is the A note. Or finish them on the 11, which is the F. Sorry, that's C. That was my bad. C sounds cool to land on a cool note, or the 13. Here what happens when you finish your phrases on cool numbers, they kind of join the chord and color it. "13. Let's do 3. And 1 is boring, I think. Right? No real color. So I'm kind of looking for adding the tensions. Let me reinstate our loop. Okay. Yeah, I think we got it. It's an 8-bar thing. Okay. So first point, look at your chord, make it a harmonic tree which contains 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And then bring down the 9, 11, 13 to a single octave, you'll get a scale. This one is called Dorian. You'll want to know that it's Dorian. You'll want to know that it really is actually F major and move it all around the fretboard. Okay, now let me show you a second very important thing. So the song has numbers, and what I'm going to do is going to jump around a lot and play just the 9s as a demonstration. Right now I'm just isolating a single tension. Okay, sorry, I think I need to make my loop a little longer. Okay, this is a 16-bar song. 10-bar song, sorry, okay. Okay, there I go again. I'm gonna hit my 9s. And I'll play it on each string separately. Let me do my 11s. Sounds dissonant, I know. Now let me connect them. I'll do this really slow, because it's hard to do on a single string. And what I'm doing is, I'm gonna be playing a number, and I'm gonna be walking melodically to the next number. Let me show you with 9s on the top string. So I'm adding melody to... That's a 9. Okay, so first strategy is having numbers and connecting them. Here's a great small exercise you can do for connecting numbers. Decide that you're starting on a single note, and you're only allowed to move either by a step or a half step. You'll get a nice melodic line like this. And then I start filling. Okay, that really helps me because essentially I'm just connecting my top note with steps, half steps, and whole steps. So that's the first big strategy, which is figure out the single number relationship of each note to each chord. That's a very, very important thing. Let me show you 2 more important ideas that help me a lot. They're kind of really wide spanning, and I have lots of videos on intervallic structures, which you can check out to help you get better at this. But the essence is I'm going to learn how intervallic structures move throughout the song. This means that if I'm going to take a simple shape, this is a note, it's second, it's fourth, and it's fifth. C major. This one. And I'm gonna make it move on blue and green. See, it's giving me a lot of ideas because the shape can move horizontally, vertically. I can really do a lot musically with it because I'm pretty competent in how it changes. Let me show you a little exercise for working on how the melodic shape changes. What I'm doing is I'm going to apply change to 4 notes. And I'm going to work them through blue and green, meaning when the mode changes, the flats and sharps change. I'm going to change my little shape so it better fits the chord. So I'm only using flats and sharps, but you're going to see F, G, B or B flat and C all the time. So it's just kind of like imagining your whole song is about F, G, B, and C, but you know sharps and flats, and the result is this. Change. Another spot. Okay, can do a lot of far out stuff by just moving things very, very carefully. So that idea is knowing exactly how change occurs within a set harmonic bunch of notes. Okay, you can practice this with any set of notes, but you can really start with something simple. I mean, it's crazy hard for me too, but start with that simple shape. Okay, and just learn how to move it in different keys, because every chord, every mode has a different key. For example, G is really F major. A7 altered is really B flat melodic minor. D Dorian is C major, and D flat leading flat 7 is really A flat melodic minor. So I really know my scales, and this is going to help me move stuff around. And for that, you can practice, make sure you know your scales. You can really practice playing them all in a single location. That's also a useful thing I do. Okay, so really understanding that. The next topic I want to touch on is how to use chromatic approaches. Let me make something that sounds kind of chromatic, and then I'll explain a little bit what I'm doing. Okay, so essentially what I'm doing is applying these like bebop chromatic ideas. It's a great thing to practice. Once you have a grasp of numbers, like I know where my 3 is, for example, here's what you can do. Let's imagine that we know that the 3 of each chord is blah, blah, blah. Okay? Now, what you can start doing is really prepare interesting chromatic formulas. A very banal one is, what I'm doing is a double enclosure, one from below. Okay, now I can practice every time I have a minor third, I'm going to use that formula. This is really important because you're thinking about one harmonically difficult thing, which is, okay, where's my 3? And something else that's kind of simple, which is just using your fingers as approaches. See, I can see my second finger. And I'm just wrapping the stuff like this. Okay, it kind of gives me more stuff I can play. Let's do it at tempo, it's more fun. Okay, so approaches are really great because they give you much more time to play, and you have like more difficult ideas become simple. For example, on A minor, sounds like a very complicated lick, but it's only chromatic. It's just chromatic approaches to each chord of that A minor 7 stick figure. Okay, so you just take very, very simple chromatic formulas and you apply them systematically each chord in your song. That's the thing. Okay. 2 more topics. Next one is using your upper structures. When I think upper structures, essentially what I'm doing is, and I do this a lot, listen to all these sounds and I'll explain something about where they're coming from. Sorry. What I do a lot is I imagine other chords within current chords, and that gives me a lot of more harmonic depth. So here's some chords I imagine. Check out my top strings. So I'm really thinking about different chords that are part of the scales. So if I'm on G Dorian, a lot of the times I'll be playing F major 7 because it's a sweeter sound. On my A flat, a lot of the times I'll be thinking about G half diminished, which is part of the altered scale. On my D minor, I'll be thinking a lot of times about D minor. These 9, 11, 13. So the key is I have all kinds of mapped systematic upper structures which give me more color, which are typically more interesting than the actual chords. I'll just play them very, very slowly so you can hear how they color the chords. Okay, so I'm just thinking about all kinds of alternatives. If you have a hard time with this, the easiest thing to do is build chords on the 7th of each chord. So your G minor, think about an F major. On your A7, think about a G diminished. On your D minor, think of C. So I'm just playing a triad from the 7th, and that's going to sound cool too. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. It's a lot of different ideas. I hope some of them are useful. So first idea, take your chord, turn it into a scale in thirds, and then bring it back to a scale, figure out the mode, and then play each number on each chord, connect the numbers by moving half steps and whole steps. Another important idea would be to learn how intervallic structures stay in one spot, but change their flats and sharps. That's going to help you too. Another idea is to take simple chromatic patterns and apply them to specific numbers. And another different idea is how to use upper structures to make all this work better. I hope this inspires something in you, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.